beautiful muses, and welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot. Today we are going to take sort of just a quick peek into any advice the cards and spirit want to give us about the remainder of 2023. We're a little past the halfway mark, at least when I'm doing this. You may come a little bit later. So just kind of this check-in. Is there anything spirit sort of like wants us to really hone in on, get a grasp of, really bring some focus and refinement to? We're kind of coming to that ripening, maturing phase of the yearly cycle, at least in the northern hemisphere. So just a quick kind of glimpse. Anything spirit wants to sort of point out, really bring our attention to, really help us to kind of focus in on and refine and mature something that we are bringing into fruition this year. Okay, so we've got 4 piles. Pile 1 is flower agate. Oops. Pile 2, we've got black obsidian. Pile 3, we have orange Calcedony. And pile 4, we have snakeskin agate. Okay, for those of you that have your own process for picking piles, you can pause and jump to the timestamps in the descriptions when you're ready. For the rest of you that like the breath work I do to help you get into a good space for intuition and tapping into your right pile, we'll do that now. So place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel that stability, that support underneath you. And now take a deep breath to embody and anchor and drop into body to help drop into that feeling of groundedness. Hold that. And exhale. And now take another deep breath in, and this time suck the air up, up, up into the space between your brows, the third eye. Hold that there. Suck in a little bit more to add some pressure there. And now out loud, exhale, opening up the crown chakra. And now gaze over the 4 piles and ask which one has your aligned message. All right, I will see you guys in your readings. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. You guys picked this beautiful flower agate stone, which we're just going to set to the side. And I've got 3 oracle cards here, which is going to show us the subject matter, the main focus that spirit and the cards are wanting to draw to your attention about moving through into this last, not quite, a little more than halfway through the year, kind of into the ripening phase of the year. Okay, so for you, we've got movement and speed. Interesting. We've got, you're very close to achieving your goals, gibbous moon, beautiful. I'm gonna hold off on this for just a second because these 2 are really signifying kind of the cornerstone. So it seems like you've been busy this year, 2023, a lot of things in motion, maybe a lot of pieces up in the air, connections being made, some sort of project kind of steamrolling forward. So, something is moving in your life, and spirit is saying, even if appearances don't feel that way, or you feel like you've hit any speed bumps, or you are kind of like waning in your energy level, it's saying keep it up, keep going. This is like a motivational from spirit. keep going, keep going, keep going. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to be really pushing forward. There is like it feels like there's a clear path and you're really close. So in general, this feels, for the most part, like a motivational from Spirit saying, keep going, you're getting there, you're further than you think. That speed around you isn't just chaos, it isn't just spinning wheels, it is actually going somewhere. Stick with it, you've got it. Okay, and then we're going to look at this Woodland Wardens, and I'm actually going to read from the book for this. And it says, the Cayman and Poppy. Look how beautiful that card is. And the key word is dreams. Beautiful. And I definitely think of Poppy as sort of that ultimate sort of dream state flower. Okay, so this is the 20th card. Let's see what it says. About dreams. Exceptionally quiet and still, the caiman is an alligator-like reptile that spends much of its time in a trance-like state, rousing only to snare its prey. Likewise, the poppy is closely associated with sleep. Since ancient times, the powerful sedative opium has been derived from its seeds. Together, the caiman and poppy will tell us about our dreams. Upright, a dream of yours is about to come true. Look, you're very close to achieving your goals. A dream of yours is about to come true. Stay still yet alert like a caiman, and at the right time seize your opportunity with relish. Ooh, so this gives us a little bit more insight about this movement that is being brought up here. And then just some things to think about. What have I dreamt about recently? How can I make my dreams a reality? So whatever is kind of in motion or that you've been trying to put in motion, I'm feeling like to you it's felt almost like a dream state, like you've put effort in there, but you're unsure if it's really something that can manifest or if it's something that kind of lives in the fantasy realm for you. And this is saying it's very much so something that you can bring into reality, and you're close, and all the effort you've put in, even if it seems like it's been through a dreaming state, or through action, whatever, resonates to you, whether you've put in a lot of motion or if you've put in a lot of kind of dreaming, there has been movement, however you have gone about this, and you are closer than you think, and that dream state is about to kind of dissolve into the soils and come back out as an actual manifest thing in your life. And this is saying actually about the speed and movement. This is a time to actually pull back a little so you can observe, because there's some kind of divine timing coming in here, and you need your awareness on. You need to be observing, so a little bit still so you can see when that moment arises instead of being too busy, too active to notice it. But then when that moment presents itself, and you will know when it does, you will know that moment. That's the time to just go. That is your opening. That is your time to move and claim your dream as real. Okay, we are going to get some confirmation cards through the tarot for each one of these oracle cards. Over movement, we have 7 of Cups. Yeah, so maybe there's like a lot of options or a lot of possibility, a lot of ways you could move. And right now could feel a little bit confusing. And if you go after every single opportunity and every way of going about this, you may spin some wheels. And this is saying step back, and that right thing to move on you'll know when the time is right, which thing is right, which way to go, which moment to seize, which direction to seize, which path to seize, whatever this is to you. Yeah, this is like, don't try to do everything. You can explore a little bit, touch each one of them, feel each one of them, but don't like give all of your energy away chasing each one of them. It's like, feel each one of them, but don't chase them yet. And you're going to know which one is the right one, and at that moment, snatch it, go, move on it. So if you feel a little confused right now about your direction in relation to a dream you have that you've been working hard at, either in the dream realm or in your real realm, yeah, it's closer than you think. Okay, let's get a confirmation for the you're close to achieving your dream card. The sun, yeah, clarity is going to come around this. So don't worry if right now you feel a little bit confused, overwhelmed, unfocused, unsure, uncertain. The sun is going to come out. It will become incredibly clear to you what the right thing is and what the right time is. And it's close, it's coming, it's very close. Okay, confirmation for the Cayman and Poppy, 6 of Cups. Yeah, this may have something to do with nostalgia. This could be something very artistic that has kind of a nostalgic vibe to it or a soulful vibe to it, or it could have something to do with family or with things from your childhood, your inner child kind of reclaiming something that it used to be passionate about, something with childhood friends, something with siblings, something with family, whatever hits for you. But there is like this tinge to it that has this really soulful, beautiful, nostalgic quality under the foundation of this. That's kind of the heart of whatever this is for you. So if you don't really resonate with that or know what it is, it could be a great time to really kind of like revisit some childhood memories, talk to friends and family about old, stories from the past, really kind of dig up some old, beautiful, lovely feelings and moods and stories from your childhood. Or if that doesn't feel accessible to you, write about some things that feel nostalgic in a beautiful way to you. Okay, to end this reading, we're going to get a goddess message, which may give us even just like a little bit more context about how to handle this, what's sort of watching over you. What kind of spiritual guidance is around you. So seek quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So back to that dream state, that stillness, there is something about kind of stepping away from the confusion, the choices, the options that have you just sort of like, something's not clear here. And it's like, if you can take some quiet time, some rest, let some things settle, then that opportunity, that clarity, that sun will come out much more quickly, or when it does come out, you are going to be much more aware and tuned and keyed into that. Yeah, so beautiful. Take some time out, go into that dream state, really observe life, take a step back, let some things settle. The right orchestration, the right choice, the right path, the right whatever it is that you're sort of like, will present itself. And at that moment, that forward traction, that manifestation, it will really kick in and it will really feel real. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Happy rest of the 2023 with this reading, what was brought to your attention. I hope it resonated. If so, I appreciate the things like, share, subscribe, and I also always love to see kind and thoughtful comments from actual humans instead of just the numbers out there in technology land. It's nice to hear some words from some real people. Yeah, so anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you guys, and I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. Hello, pile 2, my beautiful obsidian pile. I definitely already feel like kind of a deep message is going to be coming through for you guys, potentially a little mysterious, but we'll see. So I've got 3 oracle cards here that we are going to get sort of the cornerstone, the main theme, the main focus that Spirit and the cards want to bring to your attention about the remainder of 2023, especially, what needs attention to really help ripen, refine, and mature something that has, gone through its sprouting and blossoming phase, and now at this point in the year is really time to kind of mature it and ripen it. Okay, so to start, we've got purity and ice. A very restful feeling. Maybe you're doing some healing, some restoring this year in general. And then we've got surrender to the divine, full moon. Yeah, deep in the underworld, you may feel, I'm going to hold off on this card for just a minute because I'm going to read from the book for that one. You may feel like you are not necessarily, like forward traction has not been felt this year. And the reason that is because there are points in life cycles of things, points in our life in general, where instead of moving forward, we have to move downward. We have to stabilize, we have to regenerate, we have to nourish our roots, nourish our souls, nourish our dreams, restore some things, get back in alignment with ourselves, with the purity of who we are to ourselves, regardless of what's going on in the world, what's happening around us, what other people are doing or wanting or persuading. It's like getting back to your pure essence, and there's something about having to retreat inward to do this. To retreat downward instead of forward at this, something about this year. It could have to do with, 2023 is a 7 year. It's very spiritually oriented, and in the Chinese animal astrology, it's a water rabbit year, which is also very sensitive and flowy and and then we have that surrender to the divine and the full moon. And again, this is, to me, full moons are all about deepening and soul and really coming into alignment with who we are inside of ourselves so that we can start to mature something from a much more authentic place. It's sort of like a point when we come from sort of first quarter through waxing gibbous. It's sort of like the maiden to me, where life is kind of happening to you, and then the full moon to me triggers that point of moving into archetypally more of a mother phase, where you can respond to life and move life through you rather than feeling like you're reacting to life. But there's something about having to go deep within to really connect to our inner world, our inner realm. And so I feel like that is a big part of what you've been doing this year. So don't be frustrated if you feel like you really haven't felt a lot of traction, a lot of movement, a lot of growth or progress this year. It's been happening under the surface. We also have a master number here, 33. So whatever you are coming into deeper alignment with, whatever you are kind of maturing in your inner life, does have like some, 33 is like the master teacher number. but I also look at the double, the 3 aspect of it, 2 3s, as being very creative, and then they add up to the 6. So it's sort of like really getting in touch with your personal creativity is what I feel like, your personal expression and creativity, in order to devote yourself more wholly, more fully, like a full moon, to it. Okay, let's see what the Woodland Wardens card says, and I'm going to read from the book for this. The Horse and the Bluebell, Modest Fortitude. Okay, let's see what this says. Let's see, it's one of the later cards, I think. Have to find this first. Yes, okay. Modest fortitude. Its downcast blooms cause the bluebell to bow gently as its stem symbolizing modesty. At its stem symbolizing modesty. In contrast, the horse is a striking creature, proud and muscular, able to bear great loads and travel long distances. It is known for its superior strength and stamina. Taken together, the horse and bluebell reminds us that the greatest feats are the results of much humble practice. Upright, work quietly and consistently. The time to shine will present itself in the future. For now, focus on your process rather than its reward. That is so right on. Okay, and then some things to think about. Am I too focused on earning praise and not focused enough on the substance of my work? And that's exactly what I've been talking about, moving from that maiden phase to the mother phase. It's all about only needing your sign off. The cosign of others no longer is really something that affects you. It's like you only need to do something for you. You are the one that approves your path in life, what you're doing with your life. And then another thing to think about, when is it worthwhile to push through adversity and when is it better to rest? And I feel like that is, the thing this year is a little bit of rest, a little bit of inwardness, but I do like this horse energy coming through this, that's showing that there is some beautiful forward progress being made in a way, and it has to do with that element of process and practice and devotion to something. It may not be producing results just yet, but you're getting in a rhythm and a system with yourself that is so much more divine and soulfully aligned, and it is going to in the future allow you to move forward very quickly and very strong with strength. Okay, let's get a what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know, the word has escaped my mind, but a tarot card to give context to each of these oracle cards. Okay, we've got 7 of Swords for the ice purity, and this is my favorite. There's lots of ways to interpret each of the cards, but my favorite way of interpreting the 7 of Swords, and it feels very much so in alignment with what we've talked about here, is turning away from what society is doing, what's expected of you, trying to not necessarily, sometimes it can be mimicking others, copying others, or trying to fit in, trying to be, part of the normalized whatever. And this is about turning your back on that and really honoring your uniqueness and your individuality. Something that may not fit the norm, but nonetheless brings new vibration, new color, new life, new electricity to the world because of that honoring of your natural color, your natural authenticity. And so there's something you're getting in tune with about this year, that you're trying to understand, you're trying to come into alignment with, you're trying to more fully honor and bring devotion to. Okay, for the full moon, surrender to the divine, we have Six of Swords. Yes, exactly. Time to, call it on doing things the way you had been doing them, the way you were taught to do them, doing things in a way that fits into the box. It's time to, and especially around things that it was like you're hitting your head against the wall in order to kind of fit in and be part of a certain world or group or industry or society. And it's like, it's time to call it. This isn't working. So I do feel like maybe you've stepped away from something recently with the 7 and 6 of Swords coming out. And you're really coming into alignment with who you naturally are. And so where this is taking you is to much calmer shores, much more opportune shores, much easier existing. Okay, and then for the horse and Bluebell, we have 10 of coins. This is ultimately going to, by doing the work that this year has laid out for you, and following through and like really sticking in there with this kind of work, you are going to come into a much more fruitful phase of life. One where you are honoring who you are and realizing how that plugs into the world, into the networks, the commerce, the movements of society. You'll find your place, you'll find how you plug in. Trust that. Get your processes down, get in alignment with what you want, and that will then naturally find its extensions into the world, and it will move around. It will find ways of exchanging and weaving in and being part of the fabric of society. That will come by being more true to yourself and by sticking with this process of going deeper and inward and really working on you and your process and your authenticity. Okay, let's pick to end this a goddess message, which might give us a little more context about how to approach all of this, what kind of spiritual guidance and protection is around you, hence how they're wanting you to kind of move through this energy. And we have Isis, past life. The situation involves past life memories. Yeah, so maybe there's things, whatever is kind of like feeling more uniquely you, that you're really needing to hone in and step into and give some devotion and process and practice to. It's from like a past life. You may feel like it's odd or different. You don't know where it came from. It doesn't really match your family, your culture, your society. It's coming from other places your soul has been, other practices your soul has integrated within it, and that's awakening, and that's what has triggered all of this work. And so doing, like some guided, maybe like Akashic record meditations, there's plenty of YouTube guided meditations to the Akashic records. That might help you get in tune with whatever is going on and waking up in you. But whatever it is, it's really plugged into helping you be more true to you and helping you to mature, like come into your, like a deeper wisdom and maturity within you as well. Beautiful. All right. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this resonated, and definitely wish you luck with this curriculum for the rest of your 2023. And if it resonated, I always appreciate the things like share, subscribe, and also always appreciate kind and thoughtful comments. It's always nice to, hear some actual words from actual people out there. So anyway, have a beautiful day whenever and wherever you are. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading all about Something that Spirit and the cards really want to bring your focus and attention to about the remainder of 2023. When I'm doing this reading, it's sort of the point in the year where things are starting to ripen. It's a time to kind of find some refinement and maturity for whatever you've been kind of in the works with in this year. So you guys picked this orange Calcedony, and before I even look at the cards, I definitely got a very strong vibe of I don't know what it is. I didn't get any context come through, but I just got this intuitive hit of like, so far the piles have been a little bit I wouldn't say heavy, but kind of mysterious. And this feels like a lighter energy. Like maybe you guys are having a somewhat light year, not in terms of lightweight, but like a lighter feeling through this year. But let's tune into your cards and see what they actually have to say about that. So I've got 3 oracle cards here, which is going to give us sort of the focus and foundation of what Spirit is wanting to bring to your attention and focus on. So we've got endurance and rock. Interesting. I mean, endurance and rock isn't light at all. That's the opposite of, which is fascinating. But maybe, you know, what I'm feeling about this actually is like maybe you've done some really deep foundational work. I can't help but notice the root ball of this tree is being shown. And I feel like maybe to this point in the year, you've done a lot of that deep work of really securing and deepening into life, making your foundations feel more stable. And going forward, it's going to be time to kind of like reach for the light, to lighten up, to kind of come above the surface of things and enjoy the environment, the atmosphere, the mood of visible life, of the movement of nature and the seasons. And yeah, like I feel like you've done the heavy lifting. Yeah, and it's time to, I think that's what the lightness I felt is coming through. It's you're in a phase, whatever you've been working on this year has been like growing a tree, and you've been in that phase of rooting, and now it's time to lighten up, to express, to, you know, you're moving into a different phase of that, of what this year has been about. Okay, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Yeah, it's time to look up and out. I think you've been down under the depths. You've been down doing heavy work, heavy lifting, down in the details of things, down in the roots of things. And now it's time to come up, to lighten up, to get a bigger picture vision of what life is, where you're going, what's your aim, what are you reaching towards. You have really solid foundations under you for this year, and now it's time to shoot your shot, kind of thing. What's the big aim here? I do feel like looking at this in terms of like this year feeling like the cycle of a tree's growth through a year, that it's like it's that time to reach. Yeah, it's time to reach for whatever it is you were working so hard to stabilize in order to reach. You've done the stabilizing. Stop fixating on the stabilizing. You can only, in a process of a year, you only have so much time to do the stabilizing. And I think this rock and endurance is saying you've done that really well. You have very solid security and foundation. Now reach, take a risk, reach for the thing that you've been working so hard to create a foundation in order to reach. Don't get stuck in the mode of like, oh, I'm not quite strong enough. I'm not quite strong enough. It's time to shoot the shot. It's time to aim. It's time to look at the bigger picture and reach. Okay, we are going to now look at this Woodland Warden card, and I'm going to be reading from the deck for this. And it says, the snake and the fern, starting over. Interesting. Let's see what that's about. Definitely might add some different context than what we've been on to so far. Let's see, we've got... Okay, starting over. The snake and fern calls us to start anew. Regularly shedding its skin, the snake is a symbol of rebirth and transformative healing. And in many cultures, the fern is associated with new life and new beginnings. To the Maori of New Zealand, an image of the unfurling silver fern frond, or koru, is a central motif indicating growth and a return to one's origins. Together, the snake and fern inspire confidence as we start over or embark along a new path. Upright, a rebirth is imminent. Summon the magical protection of the fern and wriggle free of old trappings. Interesting. Some things to think about. Can I grow by returning to my point of origin? Ooh. Who or what protects me when I shed my skin and become vulnerable? That's where you've been. You have shed some skin. You are starting anew with something. So you have been vulnerable, trying to get back down to your essentials, to your foundations, to your base security systems, to find that new ground, that new strength, that new security for a new beginning. And this is saying you've been protected and you've done a lot of deep endurance work to set the stage for this new beginning. So now it's time to start looking outward and being more vulnerable about expressing what it is you want with this new beginning, where you hope it takes you in the future. So this feels like a much bigger picture thing than just this year alone. Maybe this year is a new, like you might be in a 1 year, in a 9-year cycle, and this is like your 1 year. So this is like the new foundation, the new direction, and it's felt a little bit vulnerable. So you've been, doing a lot of that work to stabilize so that you can have the strength and some security under you as you come out with this new kind of vulnerable, fresh skin on. But it's saying, come out and look, come out and aim, come out and get a vision of where you're going with this new start. Don't get too fixated with trying to make sure you're stable for a new start. Each year you have a moment, you have a season to work on that stability. But you have to keep moving through the cycles, through the yearly cycles. And right now it's time to come out and take aim, to get a vision, to take some risks, and to be vulnerable about being a little bit, in a 1 year, you don't need to be like too exposed, but it's time to, come out from underneath the root system and at least identify where you're going, what the big picture is here for you. What's your 9-year plan? I'm going to just assume for a lot of you, you might be in a 1 year. What's the 9-year or the 10-year plan here? Where do you want to be in 10 years in relation to what feels new about this year? Okay, moving on, we are going to pull a confirmation tarot card for each one of these oracle cards, just to give us a little more depth and context here, a little more to the story and picture. Wow, a lot of cards are wanting to come out. 3 of Cups. Yes, you've done beautifully with finding those support systems. And this may be like soul family, community. You've made a lot of connections. And if you're not seeing that, get out in your communities. It's time to kind of move around, to lighten up, to have some fun, and to recognize how many great people are around you, and how that in itself is such a massive support system. And maybe some of these people around you in your community have some wisdom and guidance and things that might inspire where you're going. You know, maybe they've been through what you're just starting. And yeah, there's like sage wisdom to be found there too, along with just general support. Okay, the Magician. Yes, I love that. This is absolute connected to what I was feeling, light feeling. It's time to come out. It's time to test your skills, to test your ability to use what is at your current disposal, to move the needle forward, to see even small evidence of ability to manifest in this new path, in your new skin, in this new direction, this rebirth that is going on. It's time to test your abilities with this, to acknowledge that you have some skills and resources to use, and to see what you can do with it. And I think you'll really surprise yourself, and I think it's really going to invigorate you, lighten you up, make some of that magic come alive for you going forward into the year. Give you like a little pick-me-up, a little boost of confidence. And then we've got 5 of Cups under the Snakes. So whatever cycle you have just shed, like the shedding of the snake skin, you may be stuck in a little bit. You may not be seeing this new birth behind you. The 2 cups are still full. There's still amazing things in your future, on the path ahead of you, that could be new and fresh, but something from the past where you've had to let go, you've had to kind of walk away from something, still has a hold on you. You see that hand, not only have the cup spilled, but the hand is like holding on to her like a cord from underneath, ghosts holding on to you. And this is saying it's time to, you know, that skin has already shed. It's time to look behind you, to look forward, to start to recognize the new things starting to sprout out of some brooding, some stability, some security. You've really actually, despite being in this kind of phase of a little bit of blindness to what is in front of you, somehow you still have worked on some foundations. And it's time to look up and notice that, and to look up and see that there are still some really beautiful things in front of you that are, in the context of what we've already seen, actually new and fresh and vital and exciting. And sometimes this just takes time, you know, grief processes, letting go of old things. It's sort of like a matter of time, but start practicing, you know, and grief comes in waves. It's not like you can just decide like, okay, it's time to move forward and not have any hold on that old path that I have a lot of grief for. It will come in waves, but it's time to start practicing, looking up, looking out, moving forward, seeing new things in front of you. And the more you do that, you know, grief is sort of actually love that has no place to go. And so the more you start focusing on that new path, that new thing, excitement in front of you, it's not like you're replacing what was gone, but you can start to move through other stages of grief if you start to look at the things you can pour some love into, where that love right now has nowhere seemingly to go. It actually does have a lot of places to go. And it's not about forgetting what was, it's just about being able to move your love in the world. That's what we're supposed to do. Be present with our love and move it in the world and create with it and generate with it. And that's what this year is really wanting you to do. And you have amazing support within you. You've created some deep foundations, and some magic is at your fingertips. You just have to look up and notice it. It is really ready to come through you. Okay, to end this, we're going to pick a goddess card, and it flew right out, so this is a strong message. Just to leave you with a goddess message, which also gives a little bit of context of how to move forward, what Spirit's wanting you to kind of energy it's wanting you to drop into in order to move forward, as well as what kind of spiritual energy is around you, supporting and guiding you. And this just flew out immediately. Freya, bold, unleash your adventurous side, take risks and be daring. Right on top of that Sagittarius moon. Yeah, it's really time to look up and out, to dare to look at the new, to dare to put your love into new things, to dare to want something, to dare to push your boundaries, to want more, to want to expand in life again. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. And I think that once you sort of drop into that, you're going to be surprised with the Magician right under this, what comes out of you and how it makes you feel. And yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, happy rest of your 2023 with this message that came through. I hope it resonated. If so, I always appreciate the things like, share, subscribe, and definitely always grateful and excited when I see kind and thoughtful little comments. It's kind of nice to hear or see real words and voices from real people instead of just like numbers. Which is great too, but it's just kind of fun to, hear a voice out there. All right, so I hope you guys have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. See ya. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading all about what Spirit and the cards want to bring your attention to really bring focus to in this last part of 2023, whenever you see this in the year, this is when you are meant to get the message. For me, I am doing this reading kind of at the midpoint of summer, this point of when we need to start maturing and refining what we've been dreaming and then growing through the year. So just this message, like what do we need to bring attention to make more fruitful, to mature, to actually like kind of bring into a wholeness for this year. So we have 3 oracle cards here. We're going to turn over these first 2 to kind of get the subject matter of this, and then a little more context from this card, which I'm going to use the book for. But before we jump into the cards, I got a pretty strong, some intuitive things that came through as I was preparing your pile, that there may be something around this where there's an urging of Spirit saying, and I get the picture that you're already on to this. It's like maybe something you're feeling right now. But it's like you need to trust yourself. It's like you know what's right, you know what's good for you, you know the right orchestration of something. Like trust yourself in a way, like in a new way, kind of in a surprising way, in a level maybe you haven't kind of hit before. I think there's something newly coming in here about how you're trusting yourself, and it's a little bit fresh, and so there's still a little bit of like, but it's like you got it though. I think something's coming through about that. Okay, let's see what maybe this is specific. It might be around something specific, or it might be general. I don't know. We'll see what the cards say. Okay, so you've got richness, marine life. Beautiful. This is all about versatility, and that versatility creating a really, really rich ecosystem, which creates a lot of flourishing, a lot of possibility, a lot of vibrancy in life. So that's gorgeous to see. Maybe you're newly feeling this kind of energy coming alive in you, which is making you trust yourself more. Because like you've done something right for life to start feeling like this. And maybe it's because you've been trusting yourself more. Oh, and look, this woman is, I've never noticed it in this card. There's actually a woman in here, kind of central. yeah, life swirling around her. And I feel whatever gender you associate with, I feel like this is you. Like you're unleashing all that's within you and letting it out into life, to pollinate life, to add to the, I don't know, it's just like variety, like everything that you have within you, you're finally letting come out of you. And it's creating kind of like this new vibrant ecosystem around you. That's what I'm feeling. Gorgeous. And it feels so much this way because when we talk about marine life and under the sea, that's like your inner world. It's your subconscious. It's what's under the surface. And it's like you're unleashing this and you're letting it help life be more vibrant around you. But yeah, I think you're trusting yourself to unleash what's inside of you. Like no longer feeling scared to let what's in you be more present, more forefront, more seen. And she feels sort of, she feels confident about it. She feels relaxed about it. Like you're relaxing into this. You're relaxing into letting your inner life be more obvious, more seen, more explored, more acted upon. Yeah, gorgeous. And then it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. And I think that's what Scorpio can be, a sign that freezes us up. It can be a sign of trauma. You don't have to necessarily have gone through trauma, but there's something usually that happens with Scorpio that it can go through these phases of really locking up, really freezing life. And I think a thaw has happened for you that maybe you've been working on for a long time. Actually, it's like you've moved from the Arctic oceans and marine life that's a little bit sparse and still beautiful, but into more tropical oceans where life is thawed and it's vibrant and it's warm and it's people are excited to snorkel and scuba dive in it. Not that they wouldn't be in the Arctic, it's just like more drawing to more people. And you're finding some confidence in this de-thaw process of letting what's inside you move, even inside of you. But once it starts to move inside of you, it naturally just kind of expresses out of you as well. So you're going through an inner thaw, which is manifesting in an outer thaw as well. And it's just making life more vital, more vibrant, more exciting, more rich and alive around you. This thaw has to do with having released some negativity specifically. So wherever you are on that spectrum, maybe you're just starting this, or maybe you're really feeling this. This is the point of this is where you want to get to by the end of 2023. So where do you feel in relation to this? Do you still have a lot of thawing to do? Are you already feeling signs of this? Are you already here? Probably different for each of you. That thawing process is individual. Okay, let's get a little more context with this Woodland Wardens card, which I'll read from the guidebook. The Chipmunk and Laurel. Success. Well, that's awesome. See what it says. So it's number 7, 5, 6, 7. Okay. The chipmunk and laurel symbolizes a new venture that will surely lead to success. The chipmunk often takes the road less traveled, finding hidden pathways and adventure along the way. The laurel is a symbol of victory used to crown the winners in the ancient Olympic Games. Together, they tell us to take charge of our destiny, carve our own path, and find success. Upright, forge a unique path toward your desires. The road to achieving your goals is hardly ever straight and easy, but the journey is ultimately rewarding. Some things to think about. What success in my life can I celebrate? How can I carve my own path and live my truth? Yeah, I think that this is something, that confidence that I was feeling coming out of you. It's like it's that thawing is that's taking place in you, a thawing of some negativity. I think it was about your own capabilities to succeed in life. And now that that thawing process has started, there's no stopping it. I don't see this as something you're going to have to like do a lot of deep work with. This to me is more about like get ready, prepare yourself for life to be more vibrant, alive, for you to be a little bit more forefront, for you to share a little bit more of yourself, because it's going to be coming out of you. That thawing process, you're in spring, there's no stopping it, it's coming, be ready is what I feel. And it will lead to success if you can stay positive about it, stay interested in the meandering path, the adventure that comes with putting yourself out there, with being thawed and expressive and more in the spotlight, more seen, more of your inner world on display in some ways. Really cool. Okay. What a 2023 for you guys. Okay, let's get a confirmation tarot card for each of these oracle cards just to get a little more context and depth here. Got 9 of coins. What is coming here is ultimately more self-mastery, more self-sovereignty, more self-sufficiency, more of an ability to be successful in owning your life, supporting yourself, really only being accountable. I shouldn't say only being accountable, but like really taking on accountability for your life, your skill sets, your involvement in the world, what you do with yourself in the world, like really becoming, like stepping into this very productive place, knowing how you can be productive in the world, how you can put the richness of what you have to share within you out into the world in a practical way that actually like supports you and makes you self-sufficient. 2 of coins. I mean, yeah, I think a lot is going to be coming out of you. So this is just, you know, one piece of advice and guidance coming from Spirit is like, you are... One thing that will come with the territory of this beautiful thing is you're going to have to learn some new skills about juggling, about what you can handle on your plate, what the priorities are, how to juggle it. And I think it is like, get clear about what your priorities are. And from there, you will naturally figure out how to balance what those are and what to weed out, what to cut, that just you can't hold everything maybe. It's like a huge harvest is coming in, and it's sort of like you really have to find the priority of what you need from that harvest, because there's no way that you can pull in the whole harvest. And it's sort of like find that balance, find the priorities, find your rhythm. Stay focused on what your greatest priorities are. Okay, and then we've got the World. Yeah, right under success. Stay focused on your priorities, what you do want. Don't try to take it all. There's plenty to share. If you do share, I think there will be other people that can help bring in some of, reel in some of what's coming out of you in this new flood of warm, thawed water. At the same time, trust how much you can hold. Trust that you can hold a lot. Trust that you have, that confidence that I felt coming through. This is just like, trust that it can hold the exact amount that you want it to hold, that you can do that you can reach that pinnacle, you can kind of like the world is at your fingertips right now. So what do you want? Reach for it and dare to hold that. Dare to put that on your shoulders because you can hold it. Yeah, gorgeous. Wow, this is amazing. I really feel excited for you guys. Like this is a long time coming. Like there's been, you know, maybe quite a period of freeze for you around what we've been talking about. Really feeling like a productive member of community, or that like your inner world is accessible even to you, let alone to the, you know, to put it out into the world. It's like this is all coming out of you, and there's something about it where it's really helping you to achieve, succeed, to reach and be a part of the world, to hold responsibility, to have position and stature and whatever it is you want. Maybe you don't even want that. Whatever it is you want, you can hold that though. Okay, to end this reading, we are going to get a message from the goddess realm, which will give a little bit more context about how Spirit is wanting you to, like what energy Spirit's wanting you to drop into to help refine this, move through it, bring it out more, as well as the kind of spiritual protection and guidance around you to match that. Mother Mary, expect a miracle. Wow, have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. And that's that sign. That's that thing I felt like you no longer you asked for this thaw, and now you no longer have control, and you just need to trust that it is here, it's coming, and it will feel miraculous, but it's out of your hands at this point. It's just coming. Just as naturally as spring thaws the snows in the mountains, like it's just this natural cycle coming in. You can't stop it. It's here. It will feel miraculous. I think you've been wanting this. At the same time, you are going to have to learn how to juggle some things and what the priorities are, and really decide what it is you ultimately are wanting to hold as like your greatest success through this thaw. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful stuff coming through here. I'm excited for you guys. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you. If it resonated, I always appreciate the things, like, share, subscribe, and definitely always grateful and excited to get kind and thoughtful little comments. It's nice to hear actual sort of voices out there in the nether worlds. Yeah, so anyway, I hope you guys have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. See ya.